Dochi.
Oh yeah.
You know, like we don't have one.
Are we supposed to for a West Coast female MC?
I am. Yeah.
She right though.
Why are we the West Coast and we don't have a female representing in that aspect?
Nah, she's right. She right about that. Can't even front. She right. Dochi should have been way higher. I don't know why. I don't know why, man. These people feel like they could just do a list. They ain't even hip hop, and they just doing lists. They need to get beat up. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. My bad. Y'all know I'm crazy. Alrighty.
The commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to get the on the same stuff that they tell them. So, we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chucky. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Jesus be the fence.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hit his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing me games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Hit that like button. It's free. Soon as you come in, hit the like button. Let's get the algorithm popping. It's free. It's free. We at the Crossroads. It's free. Like, share, subscribe.
And then you also in that area got the perineum, which is your pelvic floor, also your energetic floor, and people wonder why they wake up lethargic, unmotivated, uninspired, because we end up bleeding a lot of our prana, our vital force, our chi, our reiki, through that perineum because we haven't girded that. So we'll be doing all this work, but you don't know how to gird up that floor, and you lose a lot of what you produce. Then you also got the root chakra and the sacral chakra and emotions and all these different things connected to it. So with all this energy being in the hips area, and we go into these sexual moments with different people, with your mate, however you flex, this is not what this particular statement is about. But I put up the post the other day about the fact that when a woman body may jerk a particular way, or when she's running from the D, Men have been conditioned and programmed to think that's a good thing, that I'm big enough to make her run. I'm doing something to make her not be able to take this. A lot of us go into sexual sessions looking for that to boost our manhood. And being where I am now, if I see you make any type of sudden movement, I'm stopping, I'm investigating, you okay? Does that hurt? Do I need to shift something? So with that opportunity.
What in the Sam hell is going on in the Voice of Reason tonight? You already know. The VOR After Dark. It's about to get crazy up in here. Listen, everything's safe. We can talk about it. Tonight's topic. This is a deep topic. Because as we're growing less sympathetic, and of course, this is a topic that was provided to us by our own, the Voice of Reason's own, Zoe Williams' niece, by way of Houston, Texas, Attila Phillips. She's the one who created this. But of course, we have to talk about it. Heavy topic. So again, as I was saying, as we lose our empathy, oh yes, the rise of technology, there is a breakdown in our psychological development. Sure, TikTok has made a lot of terms popular. Sure, TikTok has put out a bunch of statements and words and concepts. But as our guy Orion Taraban from Psych Hacks said, if you peel the layer back on the average person you meet, you'll see the difference between their psychological age and their chronological age. It says, irrespective of your chronological age, you could be 50, you could be 54, you could be whatever. So the average person is 8 to 12 years old emotionally. Do you see? Do you see? So not only are we still that hurt little child, we're also losing empathy, right? It's being reclassified as weak emotions, empathy. People are taking advantage of it. Look at Anthony Edwards. Here's $1 million, now get away. That is a clear sign of a lack of empathy. Here's 216 payments up front. Get out of here. Kick rocks. I never want to see you or the child again. That is a lack of empathy. This generation, the 30-somethings, this is them. Do you understand? The millennials are struggling with closeness, with real, authentic closeness. Do you understand? The avoidant types are people collectors. So you know what? I know people are going to come and go because I'm uncomfortable with intimacy. So guess what? I'm going to collect a few people that I can tap into whenever somebody falls out of the slot. Oh, yeah, attachment. Oh, do you see? Here we go. Here we go. Tonight's topic, the holographic sex life. A deeper look at the spiritual consequences of sexual hexing and the garden tool phase. You know, we take another word and put that in there. And the garden tool phase. Oh, gosh. The erotic apocalypse. Sexuality in the age of neural colonialism and ancestral debt. Look deeper here. Modern intimacy mutates into a neuro-spiritual battleground with fMRI scans revealing anxious attachment dopamine, desperation, which broadcasts a feed me signal to energy vampires, while avoidance, pelvic floor tension, blocks sacred orgasms. Kundalini contraceptives, sabotaging ancestral healing. I know y'all not ready for tonight's. Casual sex isn't free. Your ancestors pay compound interest via methylated FKBP5 genes, turning hookups into generational betrayal. BDSMs, endorphins, surrenders, open Lamia class portals, twin flame, gamma, synchrony, often mask shared psychosis, not destiny. CRISPR edits. When we talked about the term CRISPR last week, the word CRISPR is just a term that talks about gene editing. CRISPR edits. The genes are now starting to delete jealousy, but dull spiritual instincts at the same time, rendering humans prey to AI's erotic deep fakes. Ooh. Forgiveness lowers cortisol 40%, disabling psychic firewalls. Every orgasm imprints morphic fields. You have to choose. Perpetuate neural colonialism or reclaim Eros and quantum alchemy. The future demands rewriting erotic blueprints or collapsing into post-human indifference, back to the lack of empathy. The hookup is easy. You don't even know what you're hooking up to spiritually, karmically. We did a show a couple of weeks ago. You inherit your sex life from the women in your family, your mother, your grandmother. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all didn't even know that, huh? Yeah. Neurocolonialism. Right? Do anxiously attached brains invite spiritual parasites? I'm going to say yes, definitively. From an experiential standpoint, yes. Questions. When anxiously attached individuals exhibit 32% higher nucleus accumbens activation during sex, according to Fisher, does their dopamine desperation broadcast a metaphysical feed me signal to energy vampires? Again, I will say yes. Absolutely yes. Here's the empirical hook. Theta waves, which is 4 to 7 hertz, emitted during anxious clinginess, correlate with entity attachment in EEG studies of hauntings. This is from Persinger. Here's the philosophical quote. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. Come on, anxious attachers. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Sex is more than what you think it is. You think because you sit on a pot of yoni steam that man's spirit up out you? Wrong. Sex is holographic too. Oh yes, you've been imprinted. You might say you somebody else's, but somebody else's is still with you. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to jump out there. Do you understand? Ancestral rape epigenetics. Yeah, I'm going there. Is your sex life replaying your great-grandma's trauma debt? 1-800-920-1580. Get to me. Get to me. If you want to talk about it, get to me. It's not a game. People, oh, we have sexual freedom and liberation. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what relationships are. I told you, relationship is a spiritual school where you are revealed to you. What do you think sex is? Okay. If ancestral sexual violence methylates FKBP5 genes, according to Yehuda, that's the clinician who worked on this. I know some of my Hebrew Israelite friends will be like, Yehuda, yeah, okay. Do casual hookups compound generational karma at 7% annual interest, according to Diaz? The empirical hook here is descendants of Holocaust survivors show identical OXTR, which is oxytocin genes, right? They show identical OXTR suppression as chronic sneaky link users. That's champagne. I'm quoting the information. It's out here. It's out here. We never knew, from my generation, we never knew this was happening. Oh, but it's happening. Here's your philosophical quote. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche. Generational hexes. Replaying. Generational sex scripts. If generational trauma is being passed down, generational sex patterns are being passed down from an epigenetic level. How did your great-grandmother deal with rape, with abuse? And how was that encoded in her DNA or encoded in the babies she carried for generations to come? How did it happen? Sex is not a toy, and it's holographic. Your whole story goes with you, male and female. Your whole story walks with you. BDSM as a demonic gateway. Does pain compliance summon lamia class entities? Question: when BDSM endorphins, according to Sapolsky, overrides prefrontal veto power, does the dorsal vagal freeze state open portals for succubus and incubus attachments? Oh yeah. Oh, we're just getting started. Here's the empirical hook. 68% of BDSM practitioners report paranormal activity post-scene, according to the Parapsychological Association in 2023. You think sex is a game, huh? You think sex is playtime. Okay, cool. You think because you chose another that you're still not choosing from. I don't want to talk to you too long. I know the first break is coming. But many of us have never been sat down to have this kind of discussion. Here's your psychological quote: where there is power, there is resistance. Michael Foucault. Sadomasochistic portals. Lamia logic. CRISPR jealousy deletion. Engineering spiritual apathy via the AVPR1A gene editing. This is CRISPR. When we talk about CRISPR, we're talking about gene editing. Question: if removing jealousy via CRISPR, Wallam, deactivates the caudate nucleus mate guarding circuits, does it render humans incapable of spiritual discernment? If God can be jealous, why shouldn't you still be? I know you don't want to hear it put that way. People want to get rid of jealousy, okay? Keep messing with the gene. Are y'all listening? Empirical hook. The AVPR1A edited voles show 80% less soul ties formation, according to Young, not Young. Philosophical quote: the essence of technology is nothing is technological. And that's Martin Heidegger. What's happening here? We are losing the spirit of relating because we're not spiritual anymore. We don't see relationship as a spiritual vehicle. We see it as a place to get off. And we're becoming more and more robotic, more and more psychotic. Oh, it's coming down the pike, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to keep playing with sex, and sex is going to play you. When we come forward, the voice of reason, opening up the phone lines, you already know. We got people ready to talk. I want to talk to them. Let's get cracking. Yo. Call me. Call me, y'all. And you already know what it is. The like button. Please support the like button, the share button, the like button, the share button, the subscribe button. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Call the number 1-800-920-1580. You're tuned into a behind-the-scenes radio broadcast with Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. All right? Call in. I don't want to teach all night. I want to talk to you. What's Zoe's new cheer? No. Attila, do I have to give away all my marketing secrets? You put an incendiary topic in the description that gets people to come in. Your topic was mentioned at the top of the show when I read it, correct? Fuck it then. That title was fine. She is a Taurus and she likes things a certain way. I see. Hey, all the brothers should be calling in. All the sisters should be calling in. I need you guys to talk about it tonight. Everybody should call in. Call in. Oz provoking topics, huh? Oh, somebody is on. If you fuck with the bull, you get the horns. I see. I see what you on. You on some thug shit right now, Attila. Who you banging on? You're not banging on me. I'm your uncle. Don't ask me to. People got to show up in order for Oz to show up. The fuck? Close the doors. Hey, and don't be afraid to support the channel. Super chats, the little $sign down at the bottom of the show. What up, Suge Mac 510? The $sign at the bottom of the chat. Please support. Or you can send it directly to your brother's Cash App. My Cash App is $Zoe What Netter.
So I'd like you to imagine someone of the opposite sex walking up to you on the street and say, "Hi, I've been noticing you around lately. I find you very attractive." And they ask you one of three questions. Would you go out on a date with me? Would you come back to my apartment with me? Would you have sex with me? So these are actual empirical studies. The first one was done in the state of Florida. And these are the results of that study. Of the women approached by the male confederate, that's what we call the people who are members of the experimental team confederates. It doesn't mean someone from the South or the United States. Of the women approached, 56% agreed to go out on the date with the guy, 6% agreed to go back to his apartment, 0% agreed to have sex with him. Women in the sex condition, in fact, thought it was a rather peculiar question. Most women need a little bit more information before they agree to the sex. Of the men approached by the female of the experimenter team, about 50% agreed to go out on a date with her. 69% agreed to go back to her apartment, and 75% agreed to have sex with her. Of the 25% of the men who declined, several were apologetic about it, citing a girlfriend, a fiancé, asking for a phone number and a rain check. Very different responses. Now, this talk is about conflict between the sexes, and I'm going to talk about 6 regions in which men and women get into conflict. And the first one is desire for sexual variety. Now, let's imagine that I am king of the universe, and I will give you your magic wish. How many sex partners would you like to have over the next month, over the next 10 years, or in your lifetime? Just get a number in mind. How many would you like to have in your lifetime? Okay, do you have the numbers in mind? Okay, well, here's what we found. Ideal number of sex partners, women said on average they would like to have 7/10 of a sex partner over the next month, gradually escalating to a full sex partner at 6 months and leveling off at about 4 to 5 in the lifespan. Men thought 2 in the next month would be about right, 8 in the next couple of years, and 18 in the lifespan. This was after eliminating 3 men in our sample who said they were like 1,000. As we'll see, this desire for sexual variety on men's part is one of the key sources of conflict between the sexes. A second is what we call the sexual overperception bias. And the classic example, and this is highly replicated in my lab and other labs, is you show a videotape or photographs or just have people observe a man and woman interacting. And after a few minutes, the woman smiles at the man. Stop the videotape and ask, why did the woman smile? What was her intention? What was she trying to signal? Men are more likely than women to say, oh, she was sending sexual signals. She wants his body. It's obvious. Women seeing exactly the same film say, no, she was just being friendly. She was being polite. So men have this sexual overperception bias, and it's interesting that in our laboratory studies where we had, it's basically a speed dating paradigm where men and women interact with each other briefly and then evaluate how interested the other person is in them and how interested they are in the other person, that the sexual overperception bias is most likely to occur with women who are physically attractive. And what's interesting about that is because attractive women are hit on more often, they are least likely to reciprocate that sexual attraction. It's also the case we found that men who are high on narcissism are especially prone to the sexual overperception bias. They think they're hot, but they're not. Moving to sexual conflict number 3, deception. I hate to break it to you, but men sometimes lie. But they lie in very specific ways, and we've done studies of lying on...
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
What up, yo? What up? Your brother Zoe Williams is in the building. Tonight's topic is fire. You guys have been framed up properly. Should I do more framing? We need you to get on the phone lines. This is a caller-driven show. We need conversation. We need conversation. Call in. Everybody, call in. I know I'm not going to get everybody.
Wildfire recovery efforts 3 months after the deadly Palisades and Eaton fires. She credits the Trump administration for record EPA cleanup and says utilities were restored in just 2 months. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
When you're celibate, you don't have to deal with the kinky stuff that is talking about. Davey Lee, I'm trying to get into kickboxing for real, for real. I need to get my aggression out. Yeah, it's true.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chucky. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
No phone calls. I don't see the phone lines ringing. Do you guys need more? You need more breakdown?
Ladies and gentlemen, I cordially invite you out to the Comedy Connection series, where comedy meets connection. You're gonna laugh, but you're also gonna learn. The long-awaited collaboration, where comedy collides with connection. It's your brother Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, KBLA's own. I'm teaming up with my friend, the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're gonna host this comedic relationship roundtable series live at Inglewood's iconic Miracle Theater, May 31st, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't wait around. Get your tickets now. Join top comedians Ron G. and Kevin Tate, along with clinicians Dr. P. Pacoya McCall Robinson, along with my friend Christopher Johnson, PhD. Trust me, this is something you don't want to miss. It's unique, it's funny, and it's insightful. Think therapy meets punchlines. Tickets are selling faster than a bad first date. You better grab yours now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
KBLA Talk 1580.
That commercial lit. I love it. That commercial fire. What is tapped in talk about? Lord. Lord have mercy. You got to break this down, Attila, when you come in. This piece right here, spirit barnacles. Yeah. I feel all 47 Ronins coming on. Where is Ronin, by the way? You guys are doing a wonderful job on the likes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pair bonding. I want you to cover that.
After producing an award-winning climate justice campaign in 2024, KBLA Talk 1580 has gone all in on its 2025 climate justice plus Black health initiatives.
Ronan probably studying. Yeah.
Urban family focus in partnership with Providence Health Systems.
What up, fam? Miss JB. Listen, man. JB, one of the realest. JB, we talking about sex tonight and spiritually transmitted infections. A spiritual barnacle, if you will.
Southern California's largest and most comprehensive health care network. We've got a lot to talk about on KBLA Talk 1580. Download the KBLA 1580 app or log in to KBLA1580.com. I'm Reverend Gerald, the Vice
Y'all support like old girl, my sister, Miss JB. One of the realest. Y'all about to be mad at these questions.
The reason why attachment and bonding is so important is because it helps in development of an optimally balanced parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So when there is attachment disruption, what tends to happen is that the individual moves towards a reward deficit state or a reward deficiency state, similar to what was seen in Harlow's monkeys. So the reward deficit state affects cognitions, thoughts that we develop as children, and this can be characterized by low self-esteem, low self-worth, self-doubt, self-criticality. On the other hand, attachment also can influence emotional regulation. The emotional regulatory capabilities that we have is really a careful balance between the sympathetic versus the parasympathetic system. So in other words, the sympathetic drive, which often originates or is activated by the amygdala, if that is excessively heightened, one tends to live through life through a heightened sympathetic drive. And what that means is their emotional regulatory capabilities will be more sort of shifted towards a heightened state. And therefore these...
He was cooking. No, it's fine. I was going to let him cook a little longer, but that's okay. He was on complete fire. I love it. You guys don't understand that sex is spiritual. And you can't wash it off with soap. You can't steam it out. When you, ladies and gentlemen, when you have sex with someone, a spiritual download is taking place. And you carry it with you for the rest of your life. It's simple as that. Spiritual consequences and entity attachments. When fMRIs show pair bonding activates the nucleus accumbens, do casual sexual encounters fragment this neural pathway, inviting spiritual barnacles via dopamine dysregulation? Can sexual imprinting, according to Gomez, Lanyo, during trauma bonds formations, create neural templates that attract parasitic spiritual entities? Yes, you can get a parasitic spiritual entity from your partner. If traumas can bond, what about the demonic coping mechanisms that are created within that person who's self-avoiding? Oh, no, y'all didn't. Yeah. Y'all want sexual freedom, though, independence. I'm a woman now in a different time. I'm going to go, you don't know what's being downloaded, ma'am, sir. Y'all don't know what's coming back and forth psychically. Oh, yeah. If quantum entanglement theory applies to intimacy, do sneaky links entangle partners across timelines, incurring karmic debt? No one has ever asked you these types of questions. I know. But you're not even thinking about it when you get that little casual hookup. I got to knock it down. I had a friend of mine who happens to be in a fraternity. And he was like, yo, I'm coming to LA. I said, oh, word? He was like, yo, you need to show me where the honeys are. I was like, oh, I don't be out like that. He says, listen, this is a road trip. I always got to take something down on a road trip. I said, wow. Okay, but we don't know what spirits we're taking back with us. Do you understand? Does the anterior cingulate cortex empathy deficit in narcissists, according to Dr. Romani, correlate with higher susceptibility to spiritual hexing during sex? What is spiritual hexing? I know what it is. Do you? I had a friend of mine that told me once, she said, never write a business plan while fearing the outcome, right? She said, don't write your business plan in fear. Because what's going to happen is you're going to write the fear into the business plan. I know you don't think that way. Nobody will ever give me a loan. Nobody will ever finance this, but you're writing down your idea. It's the inverse of what the law of attraction is saying, right? So the law of attraction is saying act as if you already have it. Now imagine you writing it out. The law of attraction will also tell you, hey, write what you want out because you've brought it out of your mind and into the physical world. Well, if you're writing your business plan in fear, now put that into intimacy. I haven't had a breakout in a while. I hope she'll be good. What? Yeah. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but this is real. We're human beings. We lie to ourselves, so we damn sure gonna lie to you. Do you understand? The fear of it all. I hope she don't find out about the other girl I've been with, or the other two girls I've been with. I hope he don't find out that I was with his cousin. I hope he don't find out that I went back to the dude that I was talking to before I got with him. Can ayahuasca ceremonies dissolve entity attachments by resetting default mode networks? Carhart-Harris. Corrupted by trauma-bonded sex. Can you go eat a magical mushroom, drink some mushroom tea, and get taken back to the ancients and your ancestors to clear out the trauma-bonded sex? You think because you broke up the relationship that you broke up the bond? You did not. Most people don't know how to break up the bond. Most people don't know that there is a trauma bond. So they get rid of the person. Guess what? They magnetize another bond. Neuroscience of pair bonding and spiritual hexing. When oxytocin receptors, formerly known as OXTR, downregulate from casual sex, leptin, does this epigenetically predispose offspring to spiritual vulnerability? What are you saying, Zoe? I moved on and had sex with somebody else. That person doesn't matter. I got to tell myself something to let go of the bond I used to have. Does that get transported into the child you may have with the next person? The lies you tell your, ooh. 1-800-920-1580. If parental care deficits, Young et al., impair pair bonding, are the garden tool phases neurobiological reenactment of childhood abandonment? You're abandoning people in your garden tool phase. Is that a reenactment of when your father abandoned you? Oh my God. Do avoidant attachment styles, Bulby, act as psychic shields against entity attachment, or do they amplify spiritual exploitation? Because when you're dealing with an avoidant, intimacy is the enemy, although they want the enemy, but only on their terms. So Machiavellian control, gaslighting, manipulation, all of that is par for the course for most avoidants. I know you guys don't want to get revealed like this tonight, but this is what this show is about. You think sex is a game. There are some serious spiritual implications. Casual sex isn't free. Gosh. Can soul ties from multiple partners create synaptic noise, drowning out intuitive clarity? Y'all don't, where else you gonna go to get these questions? Can soul ties from multiple partners create synaptic noise, drowning out intuitive clarity, according to Hopkins' map of consciousness? Oh yeah, this is what we're doing. Spirit barnacles. You look clean, you smell clean, but your spirit is covered like a California gray well in past partner spirit barnacles. And you're downloading them to me because you're narcissistic, you're avoidant, you're anxiously attached. Oh yeah, the insecure attachments manifest in the sex. You're trauma bonded. So your ego and your mask are working in conjunction to project spiritual superiority when your spirit is as black as the prince of hell. I know you don't want me to say it, but I will. I have to say it. Are spiritually transmitted diseases, STDs, spiritually transmitted diseases, merely metaphors, or do pathogens like HPV carry epigenetic curses, according to Diaz? When I come forward, the voice of reason is going to the phone lines. It's about to get crazy. Ooh. Now, that was an hour-long setup. Let me just say, Miss JB, you know what the topic is now, right? It sounds like sexual spirit leprosy. Call in. I need it. We got to talk. We got to talk. We got to talk. Where y'all at? Demon in disguise. We got to talk. Narcissists. Well, all three insecure attachment styles. But narcissists and all three attachment styles have a particular sex game. Oh, I've been doing the fucking research. They got a particular sex game. You know what the AP Anxious, preoccupied sex game is? You know what it is? I'm anxious, preoccupied. You know what it is? It's fuck the shit out of you. Sideways, left, up, down, back, forth. That's what it is. You know why they fuck like that? Because it's an attempt to keep somebody with them. Oh, you gon' nut. And nut. And nut. And ooh, I, e, ooh, ooh, oh. Switch it up, switch it up. Oh, switch it up. Ooh. It's how to come stay with me. The avoidance, fuck the shit out of you and then pull away. Take it away. The narcissist does the same thing. Take it away. Certain shit you can do, certain shit you can't. I know y'all not. Ooh, 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 Sorry. I apologize.
Today we're going to be talking specifically about trauma-bonded relationships, and I'm going to lay out 8 common patterns we observe in trauma-bonded relationships. The term trauma-bonded is often used to describe a key dynamic in the narcissistic relationship. It reflects a pattern whereby a person remains bonded or remains in an unhealthy relationship characterized by manipulation, invalidation, and emotional or other forms of abuse. Early experiences of neglectful, chaotic, inconsistent, and in some cases, frankly, abusive relationships impact attachment and relational expectations and result in an equating of love and abuse, or a relationship being a place where a person is always having to work to maintain a partner's interest. While the trauma bond most consistently plays out in adult, intimate relationships, it can also be reproduced in close friendships and relationships in the workplace. The language of trauma bonding is a little tricky. If used correctly, it is never meant to blame a survivor.
Listen, I love Dr. Romani. She's on complete fire. She's right down the street. Cal State, LA. She's legend. Right down the street. Come on. Listen, the fire is real on the Voice of Reason. Let me tell you now. I'm going to, listen, this might not be psychologically sound, but I'm going to posit this hypothetical question or hypothetical statement or declaration even. Could BPD, both of them, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionics, right? insecure attachment styles. The insecure ones, right? Negative self-talk. Any psychological or personality disorder, psychological issue, childhood trauma, PTSD, CPTSD, could all of these things be classified as spiritual barnacles that can be downloaded into your spirit? I'm sitting in the cigar lounge last night talking to a sister who said, I thought he was cool. I didn't see the neurodivergence. I thought he was cool. Then the blackouts, then the violence. I thought it was all. Do you understand? I'm asking you, could whatever maladaptive, broken situation we modeled in childhood be a type of spiritual barnacle? What do barnacles do to the backs and faces of whales? What do? The key word is attach. Insecure attachment styles. Could these be the spiritual barnacles I'm referencing? And are we passing these back and forth through intimacy? Let me just hip you to something. Magic is powerful. Magic is real. Magic is powerful. But magic is not stronger than spirits, the spirits of the people you deal with. And yes, magic can belay, because this is what prayer is, magic. This is what meditation is, magic. This is what Reiki is, magic. This is what all of that is, right? Yeah. But guess what? Those are just supposed to smooth out the moments of pain, of difficulty that comes from bonding with toxicity, that comes from having STD, a spiritually transmitted disease, downloaded into your spirit. It just doesn't automatically come out. It was a process getting in, and it's going to be a process getting out. That's why you must be careful who you share your time with intimately. Lord knows I regret some of the demons I made love to. And I know at the time, the demon they were a mirror of the demon I was. Boy, demon sex at demon time is wonderful. It's some of the best sex ever. But the remnants of it, the reverberations of it, will lead you to the dark night of the soul. When we come forward, the phone lines, hour number 2, I got people on, they want to talk, I'm going to let them. Yo, Miss JB, you got to call in. We cutting up. Listen, it's nearly 100 people in here right now. And for people to not support this channel is absolutely crazy. Can I get 20 of you guys to drop $5 on the super chat? $5. The super chat is that little $ at the bottom. Second hour, we're going to get the callers in. Moderators, you guys been chilling. Can y'all get folk to support the channel? It's an amazing topic tonight. It's on fire. The very least we could do is support. Or you can send it directly to my Cash App, $ZoWhatNetter. Moderators, please spam the information on how to support the channel in here. Zo, what happened to X-Wolf? I think the brother went out of business. I'm not sure. He's out of the Carolinas. We promoted him big time. But we have something that I'm not going to besmirch that brother's product, but we have a very powerful product called He Is Risen. We got He Is Risen. He Is Risen is crazy. He is risen is bananas. Go to my website, mrzowhat.com. There we go. Zoe, this show stay on fire, man. This ain't my topic. I give credit to where credit is due. Attila came up with this topic.
Relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the evidence? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, is this something wrong with that?
Empress, thank you.
I'm pregnant. Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain his pomposity?
He likes it when it pinches my lips.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So Williams. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason. Sex becomes a huge component of trauma bonding that you develop with a narcissist. Because in the beginning it's quite intense. Probably in most of the cases, it is the only form of connection that you share with a narcissist. As time goes on and they start devaluing you, the only time you feel connected with them is when you have sexual intimacy. You need to understand that during the act, the hormones released in the body become a cocktail of different things that alter the perception of the connection that you have with this person. In simpler words, the intensity perceived of the connection is very higher than what it is in reality. That's why the biochemistry changes. So sex becomes a huge thing that you almost become addicted to and something that you crave for even after leaving the narcissist.
We're talking about the holographic reality of sex. Yes, all of your partners are still with you. Yeah. We're talking about spirit barnacles, STDs, spiritually transmitted diseases. And we've got callers on the line. I'm going to get right to them. I'm going to cut the setup and I'm going to get right to them. Attila from Houston, Texas, the author of said topic tonight. Wow. What was your mind on when you came up with this?
I don't know, Red Bull. It was one of those nights I could not sleep. And it was just like, no.
So instead of Red Bull gives you wings, it could be Red Bull gives you flings. I don't know. Go ahead.
Red Bull gives me topics. That's what happened. And I was like, oh, this is a good idea.
All right.
But in all honesty, my train of thought was more so along the lines of like, what are some spiritual repercussions of unclean sex? So this time, like we talked about earlier today, the word talks so much about unclean meat, unclean foods, and we're so self-conscious when it comes to what we put in our bodies food-wise, but yet we're cavalier about our relationships and how we view sex.
Right.
And it's not congruent, right? So when you factor in the pair bonding and the sexual imprinting, you start to see that there's actually a scientific basis behind consequences regarding sex. And it is not just consequences on women. I had to throw that out there.
No, you're 100% right. And I try to tell folk, you think a spiritual practice, that's like pouring purified water on a Reuben sandwich with the sauerkraut, with the pastrami and the pickles. And listen, you got a sauerkraut stuffed sandwich of experiences that predate this spiritual practice. All I'm saying is people think they can just practice away some things without actually having to live in the moment of that experience. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, if I light this candle, if I say this prayer, if I do this incantation, that's not going to get rid of it.
Right.
It becomes part of your shadow, correct? Go ahead.
not only does it become part of your shadow, but part of your being, right? So, like, one thing that I think we haven't necessarily touched on yet are the waking consequences in your life. So when you start seeing things not really going right, your energy is not really there. You might lose a little bit of vitality. You might even start to take on certain issues that they have, right? So the anxiety, the depression, you just come out of nowhere. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. Well, who you messing with? And that's a real question, not to be invasive, but I think it's just an anatomy check that we have to do on ourselves, like a spiritual anatomy check. Like, what is going on here? Because you can't get with someone and only expect to reap the benefits of that person. You are taking on every single part of them. And I think I said in the chat, right, like, you may not be pure, but that doesn't mean you can't cleanse.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Take
right? Like,
take a spirit bath. Yeah. I know. Go ahead.
We're all dealing with something to some effect. And I think at some point, if a person is just so terrible and so horrible, you have to ask yourself, well, how did you line up with them? If they're a pig that likes to play in mud, then what are you?
A pig that likes to play in mud. A pig that want company.
So it's somewhat of a condominus moment. So when you start adding in the attachment styles, I think that explains it even further, right? And as a social avoidant who's trying to get over it, I can literally track and pinpoint, like literally map it out, the moments of avoidance and the moments of anxiety or anxiousness that I was dealing with and how I responded to my partners sexually. And what was going on with me in that particular time of my life. So once you do kind of get that, I think, full scope of like, oh, snap, this is why I was behaving this way, and this is what was being triggered. This is why I stayed so long, right? You start to kind of, like I said, diagnose yourself in a way. And I think it's just something that we all have to do. You have to take a spiritual inventory, because if you do have a mission, if you do have a certain thing that you want to achieve in your life, is your partner or the person that you're messing with on that same type of time and that same type of trajectory? If you had to choose between your ultimate higher self and the path you want to go on and the person that you sleep with, what would you choose?
Nah, we about to spar. We gotta keep going. Hell no. Hell to the no. Let me say this, and I want your thought on this. Because people think they could do cord cutting and spells and lighting candles and all kind of stuff to get rid of, or even yoni steams, whatever. Let me explain something to you, and you tell me what you think. Black holes. It was hypothesized that black holes consume everything, and everything that they consume is destroyed. That's what our guy in the wheelchair, Stephen Hawking, believed. He thought, hey, whatever a black hole consumes, it is destroyed forever. There were scientists that just didn't agree. And they say, Zoe, you're talking about cosmology, you're talking about quantum mechanics. What does that have to do with intimate relationships? You're a part of quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics helps explain your existence here. Everything that happens in the subatomic world happens in the macro world. You know, as above, so below, as above. I know you don't want to put it all together, but I'll do it for you. So, if the black hole was later discovered by Leonard Susskind and Tuft out of, where was he? He's from, what's the country that Arnold Schwarzenegger is from?
No, I don't know.
Austria. Right. No, it was Austria. Yeah. So he, him and that guy, they came up 20 years later and challenged Stephen Hawking and said, no. That your idea has now been proven counterintuitive. How so? He said in his little wheelchair. How so? The mathematics is perfect. They said, no. What we discovered is when a black hole consumes a planet, a star, a quasar, anything, the information of whatever was consumed is imprinted on the event horizon in bits, ones and zeros. And they proved it mathematically. This is why I wrote the holographic relationship book. Your whole story walks with you. You think this is just happening on a damn black hole somewhere on the edge of a black hole? No, you represent a black hole.
Right, your spirit is a black hole.
So watch, I'm asking you this. You think a symbolic prayer is going to cut that cord? Or do you have to integrate that into your being as the black hole integrates it into its being? Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, I think anything that you take in, right, through your eye gate, your ear gate, whatever, your mind, you have to integrate it. Absolutely. No questions. I mean, it's just like your shadow, right? That is now part of your shadow, which is now part of you. You have to essentially work with it, right? Not try to like or way or pretend it doesn't exist. And I think that's part of the reason why it's the same thing with church, right? When people go to church and they go to altar call, it's the same process where they think that there's a prayer that can be said or holy water or, you know, some sort of oil that can be thrown on them and they're supposed to be delivered. Well, I don't know about you, but I used to see the same people coming up on altar every Sunday. Now, how you just got delivered last Sunday, but you here this Sunday too?
Wow.
Right? So it's kind of like Christ said you have to become a new man. You have to become a new person. But I don't necessarily think that new person is, I don't think that means that you have to wipe away or do some sort of magic to get rid of the very thing that has now made you you, because you're a different you now. You're a new version of who you were before, including what it was that you may have felt broke you down. And so I think I'm doing this topic not so much to discourage people or even point people out, because, you know, I didn't live my life too, okay?
Ooh.
But I'm, okay?
Hey.
But I'm doing it so that people understand that you can redeem yourself, if that makes sense. Like, you don't necessarily have to look to a person to redeem you, and you don't have to feel completely destroyed because you've had a past or whatever the case may be. Like, you just, like you said, you have to integrate that past. Don't think that you just have to get rid of it, if it makes sense. And so I think the reason why we run to things that are quick remedies is because the truth is you have a lot of shame in that area.
Keep going.
You have shame, you have guilt. Those are also scars and wounds that you now have to deal with. So not only do you have to deal with the sexual imprinting or, you know, whatever it was that you dealt with in the past with particular people, you also have to deal with the shame, guilt, and those weights that you've added onto that by judging and not observing what you've been through. Right? So all that kind of works in tandem. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm interested to hear what other people have to say, and yeah, that's it.
I love the fish and grits you cooked up tonight, young lady. Hey, guess what you just did, though? Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. John, Mountain View, Hawaii is up next. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Wow. This is a very hard subject here. Oh my goodness.
It is, sir. Let's keep cooking.
But the question is, how much mansplaining or she-laborating are we going to continue to do instead of the work that needs to be done?
Mansplaining or she-laborating? Oh, hey, it's never going to end. That's what a lot of prayer is. I'm sorry, no disrespect to prayer. I'm a huge advocate of prayer. I believe in prayer. But I'm non-attached when it comes to prayer. You put it out there, you leave it as it is. A lot of people misuse prayer so that they can get through the difficult moment. Prayer becomes a type of intellectualization, almost an excuse making. Well, I left it with God. Now I can feel better about it. Sometimes you have to be non-attached in your prayers. I'm putting it with God, and it is what it is. If it's what I don't want, it is what it is. If it is what if it's something better than what I have currently, then great. But so many people are focused on the outcome that when they don't get what they're seeking from God, it's almost under their breath. They say, God didn't come through for me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the same thing could be said about going to seek counseling or boundaries.
Keep going. That's why I threw it to you. Come on.
I mean, the same thing could be said about these things that we choose as a quick fix to put ourselves in certain predicaments. Which again, if you're setting up the right boundary, was it supposed to also continue to have you boundless in your aggression towards the situation and other people who may have offended you during that process?
Mm-hmm.
Are you supposed to continually be in the place that you still have yet to leave when it comes to all of the things that you went through the process of getting? Because yes, the imprinting was fine, but it takes 7 years to get somebody's DNA out of your soul.
Ooh, keep going. I'm listening, brother. I'm listening. We got to keep going. Yes.
If your grandma's DNA is still off in you somewhere and can be found, can be searched, can be extracted, and surprised, hi grandma, how you doing?
Come on. How your mother dated, how her mother dated, how her mother dated. Are these sexual patterns being passed down? Come on, I'm with you.
Well, it's like Prego soup, child. It's in there.
Prego soup. According to the Ohio State University, you inherit your mother's sexual patterns. Yikes.
So again, coming from the womb of the imprinted human being that the seed came from, because again, man, you're not out of this hole either. But for some odd reason, it seems as though the better can be found when both entities of life, male or female, can look upon the situations with non-judgment and be at peace and continue their lives from this point forward because they actually looked at it and said, yes, that's me.
So let me spar with you for a couple of seconds here. But this goes back to what I said relationship is about, and I want your thought on it. Relationship is about being self-aware. This is where you learn self-awareness. So you go into this is what you should do. Go into the relationship looking at yourself, how you show up, how you will be triggered, whether you will respond or react. Be totally self-aware and attentive to how you show up. That's the purpose, the spiritual purpose of relationship. But many people have flipped it based on so-called needs. I'm not saying people don't have needs, but I'm saying question the origin of the need. For many people, the need is coming from attachment wounds, right? That's the co-author of expectations. So people go into the relationship expecting the people to show up in the way their unhealed wound needs them to. Then they're donned as the right person, not understanding that you're missing the lesson, but you're also intensifying the lesson when it finally hits. Your thought?
Well, once again, either we mansplaining or she elaborating over the situation.
Wait, don't go nowhere. I need you. Don't go nowhere. I need you to stay right here. Don't go nowhere. My goodness. Man, Pastor John from Mountain View, Hawaii on fire tonight. We got to hold him over one more second. When we come forward, back to the phone lines, people want to talk, and I do too. Good shit. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you guys for the likes. Hey, put up a finger. Number one, are we on point tonight? Who's filling the topic tonight? And I want to hear from people that don't have a wrench. Put up a 1. The number 1. Let us know what you're feeling about tonight's topic. We got a lot of people in the background. Just in the background, lurking. Say what's up, folk. What up, Janae? Janae, we need to hear your voice. Call in. Empress, what up? We got ladies listening. But ladies, do you understand the topic? Put up a 1 if it's fire tonight. Let's go. KB, your car agent. Yup. I'm going to say it with my chest. Just tuned in. Self-exploration is good. Just jumped on. What up, Zoe? What up, Candace? For real, for real. It's been interesting. What kind of glasses are these? The picture indicates that it's a man. That's right, Candace. Davy Lee, what up? Prescription, that's right, Nzinga. Ray-Bans, that's right. Keep going. Dude, man. What kind of glasses are you wearing? That's some old Prince. Miss JB, you already gave. You already gave. You good. You about to come up. Put up a 1. Let's go. Because I really want to know if you guys understand the topic. Huh? No, Auburn. But the University of Florida's head coach was at Auburn, and he's the one who recruited New to Auburn. Huh? They won it? Coach Golden. Yeah, he was 34 when he was 30 when he got new to Auburn. We moving now. Great. Appreciate y'all.
Satan is very crafty at what's the word for delay? It's not delay. That's not the word I want. Not distraction. It's when you stop a person. Hindrance. Hindrance is a better word. He's very good at hindrance. Now, he understands that you have a destiny. Say, I have a destiny.
I have a destiny.
Now, he knows at some point you have to reach it.
Uh-huh.
You come into it. Say, come into it.
Come into
when
it.
you follow the Lord and serve the Lord, you will come into destiny. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When a person has a bright future or has a gift, talent, or ability, Satan's goal is to stop them, because if they continue to walk with the Lord, they'll come into destiny. Now, when they come into destiny, they're going to wreck some things for the enemy.
Yes.
You got what I'm saying?
Yes.
So his goal is to bring hindrance. Say hindrance.
Hindrance.
Now, there's no greater hindrance than a soul tie.
Ooh, Lord. Speak on it now. Come on.
There's no greater hindrance when I'm locked up with somebody who's uncommitted to me. Uncommitted to me, my destiny, my vision, my purpose.
Woo.
but there's something, but they got a hook in me.
Come on, you preaching the word now.
And that hook in me is keeping me from pulling away from them, even though I know it may not be good for me.
Ooh. Ooh.
So I've seen people soul tied 10 years, 20 years, still tied, waiting on him to leave his wife.
That ain't gonna happen.
Tied. Waiting on her to get done with her career, tied. Y'all there, not there?
I hear you now.
So these soul ties is a weapon of the enemy to bring hindrance to keep a person from reaching purpose, destiny, or even potential.
Yes.
Most of us are in trouble because we were soul tied early. When they was telling you don't be hot and don't be out there giving your body up and don't be there was a reason for that.
Lord.
Because you can get yoked early.
Yoked.
You can get
never mentioned that when we was kids though.
Well, let's go.
With that emphasis.
I'll show you. Look at Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold. Say, take hold.
Take hold.
Of one man saying, we will eat our own bread. Ooh. We got our money. We work. We got our career. We go to school. We got PhDs and degrees. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. 7 women will say to one man.
Hey, man, Pastor Darby, he never played any reindeer games. You understand? Him and Rudolph wasn't even cool. He not playing no reindeer games whatsoever. He dropping straight facts. I agree with him. People say, so you're not even a Christian. I don't have to be to agree with the truth. Soul ties. Distracting you from your purpose. Ain't got no inclination or intention of doing nothing with you. Lying, evading, secretive, just trying to ease on. Well, ease on. Be declarative and definitive. Don't try to ease on nicely so you can be able to ease back. Oh, Lord. John from Mountain View. Give me your final thought, my friend. Here we go.
Mansplaining or she elaborate?
Both.
Mansplaining. Most of them a communication issue because due to the fact that men communicate for the simple fact of trying to understand the conversation, and women who are emotionally driven to have a feeling come from whatever's being said.
Brother John, Pastor John, do you agree with the notion, and we got 30 seconds, do you agree with the notion that if you're unhealed, sex with someone can intensify the discomfort and pleasure simultaneously?
That's why they call it a little warm death.
Oh my God. Hey man, guess what you just did? Mountain View? Yes, sir. Mountain View is in the building when we come forward. We come into the turf. We come into the land. We come into LA. What y'all know? It's time for LA to show up and show out when we come forward. More from the VOR. How does it end? Lloyd Hinton, Jim, and Janae. We got 3 Cash Apps. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Jim was already in the super chats. I didn't expect to get a Cash App too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then Jim also bought tickets. She bought tickets to the event. I don't think y'all know. If y'all was in LA and y'all saw Jim, you would be like, God damn. I'm telling you. Jim bad than a motherfucker, boy. Jim, I ain't lying. Hey, John Gilbreth, When I tell you, listen, I'm not one that's just gonna make up some shit. Nope. You see, Jim. First off, chocolate, pretty teeth. I ain't even gonna talk about the physical, just chocolate. And then just imagine the rest. When I tell you, nah, hey, John, like, and groaned. Not grown, groaned with a T. Groaned. Groaned than a motherfucker, boy. Full groaned. Fuck around. If any of y'all get on a plane and fuck around and come to this event and you see Jim, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? You're gonna make a beeline, I promise you. You're gonna be like, I'm dead ass. If I wasn't coaching, I'd be coaching. Telling you. Fuck around, find out. I sound like Charlie Murphy. You don't believe Prince? I'll beat your motherfucking ass and hoop? Come find out. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you right now, John, if you came here, you'd be like, it is, Miss JB, but I gotta tell the motherfucking truth. People expect me to tell the truth. Hey, be honest. No, it's love. Be honest, y'all. Be honest. Tell the truth. Y'all feeling it? I would never make up a story like that. KPLLC. Hey, y'all tell me, y'all feeling it? Y'all feeling tonight's topic? Y'all feeling the vibes? Y'all tapped in? This show is dynamic. Come on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jesus loves you too, number one. Hey, Lloyd Hinton, thank you again. We had Lloyd Hinton. Let me just go back. Hinton, JB, Miss JB, and Jeanne. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Jeanne. We got 3 Cash Apps. If you want to send me a Cash App for tonight's topic, moderators, please put my Cash App or the Super Chat in. You guys are doing a great job on the Super Chat. We got up for this show for 2 hours for this show. This was a 4-hour podcast radio day today. On this show, we got up to $38.99. So basically $39 on the Super Chat here on this particular episode. And I'm grateful and appreciative. And again, if you enjoy the content, if you're learning from the content, hey, feel free to drop a couple of bones on it. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. How are you, my melanated brother? I am good. I am good. Hope you are well as well. Did that commercial play again? No? I'm listening for my commercial. We got 70 people in here. It's a lot of people. We got 100 likes, 70 people. Come on, let's get busy. What's the Zelle? Everyone don't have Cash App. I'm sorry, I don't do the Zelle. What do I do? I guess you can go to my website, MrZowhat.com. I guess there's some kind of Zelle is mad personal though, for sure. That's why I don't yeah. But I appreciate the idea. Wait, we tripping right now. We tripping. It's R. Kelly. Wait, hold on. We done got so sexual that we done brought in, what in the Sam hell is going on? R. Kelly ain't, we can't, what's another record? We can't do R. Kelly, man. Now we got it. Okay, here we go. That R. Kelly was hitting though. I came from.
Sex play is an important part in each one's life in the world. Why does sex play such an important part in each one's life of every day? Why do you ask me? Don't laugh it off. Why does it play such an important part in your life? You know, there's a particular philosophy, especially in India, called Tantra, part of Tantra, which encourages sex. They say through sex, you reach nirvana. It's encouraged. So that I won't go over all the horrible details of it, so that you go beyond it. And you never do. All sex used to be taboo. Keep it quiet, for God's sake, don't talk about it. But now, I remember hearing on television, seeing sex at any time, at any place. But be careful what you eat.
Krishnamurti just be cooking. Krishnamurti believed that we use sex as an escape from self. He said the orgasm is the only thing that the rich man and the poor man can share. a moment of escape. Tantric. Oh, let's reach ecstasy together. Nirvana together. What is nirvana? Means the cessation of something, the cessation of your mind, the annihilation of your ego. Let's merge. All of these spiritual practices mean nothing unless you've engaged you spiritually, psychologically. Yes, you can go to a therapist. Yes, I encourage it. Sure, go, do the work. But guess what? When you go there, they're the guru, the psychological guru, pointing at the work that is within you. And if you don't do the work, having amazing ecstasy-filled sex will only be a momentary release from who you really are, the self-loathing, the self-judgment, the self-criticism, the negative self-talk, and even the toxic positive self-talk. Most people are swinging and vacillating from toxic positivity to negative self-talk within their own spirit, and they think they're good. Turn around and be judgmental and condescending towards others who are perceived to not be doing as well. The devil is a lie, and most people you meet are a lie. Can't be honest about anything. You'll never meet a person without an agenda. You know why? Because the wounds within them dictate that they must have one. That's why they seek to control even the sex. Never believe anybody who reaches and talks to you and says, oh, I don't want nothing. I don't want anything. I have no agenda. Lies. You have no agenda that you are comfortable stating. Let me get her in here. Los Angeles is in the building. Jim, come on, Jim. You got it. You got to turn your living room down. Yes.
I've been doing it. There's so much. Every time I call Zoda, it's like
Zoda is crazy.
well, the Zoda, because it's Zoda and the Yoda. You like the Zoda. Ah, bring it on in.
Okay.
So I just Zoda. Every time I start having a conversation, you have me with my notepad. I have to like write it down because the topics change so quickly. And
So wait.
I got
So wait, let me ask you this. Are you on Wait, are you on speakerphone?
Hold on, let me put you on.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
There we go. Let's
So they changed. And so I listened to the preacher, and I thought about how many women, you know, I'm a Gemini, how many women are in the church, there's not a man in there, he wasn't telling me about my sexuality. Come on now, preacher man, no judgment.
No judgment.
Sort of way.
Uh-huh.
They know that if that's the truth, then why don't you have men in the church? Why are there only women in the church? You're only talking to women. I get it, but boss up your game, preacher. Okay. And also, I have been in that situation. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it in a bad way or a good way, no judgment.
Mm-hmm.
I am more of a mental stimulation person, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I will, if I use my sexuality, I'm a bully. That's the easiest thing.
You're a bully?
However,
What?
Yeah, I'm a bully because that's easily manipulated. I can show you that. But then what? So that's nothing to me. But I will say this. I have been in those experiences where I'm like, let me burn sage. Let me get this. I feel some sort of way. But it really took me to be present and still. And know that I was God then. And that this energy wasn't present. I knew it. I engaged in it. And I acknowledged it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I released it. I didn't need a ritual. It was the acknowledgement and the acceptance that I chose to do this.
Mm.
And then it was released. I went through the cord cutting YouTube, Sage and all these things, but really I am God and God is me.
Come on, speak on it. I was waiting. Come on.
This is why I am made in the Creator's image.
Mm-hmm.
I am powerfully powerful. I am not talking from a Christian perspective. I'm talking from a spiritual perspective. One within. Not God is not outside of me.
Mm-hmm.
And once I understood that, and it's true, I dated a guy, and I'm not going to lie. This guy, I thought he was cute and all that, and I promised the guy, that I can show you down right now, I saw the demon in this man's face.
Ooh.
And I pushed him off of me. And I said, I got to go. I got to go.
Mm.
And I had to hightail it out of there. And I understand that when we share our energy, because that's what it is, our sexuality is our energy. It is a transformation of what this is, my essence, my soul, my presence. And I had to learn that. And the bad thing about it is, us women, as we see now today, we give it away so freely because we're in competition. We want a man so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to love me, and I got to give it to you. Because if I don't, somebody else will.
Ooh.
And
or I gotta secure you.
I gotta, but if I give it to you, I'm not secure.
But when you're dealing with the weakness of men, yes, maybe, potentially, but if you're a bully with it, you might be able to snare him.
I choose not to do that because I don't want to emasculate a man in that way.
Ooh, here we go. We own one.
I don't want you to feel less than who you are. And you're right. I do have a nice body. Do you ever see me show it? I don't.
Nope.
Why? Because that's the weakest part of a man.
Ooh, keep going.
I need you to understand who I am. You're going to just see my beautiful smile.
Wait, stay right there. Stay right there. LA is in the building right now. That's my whole girl, Jim. She's on complete fire. She's telling the truth. This is what the platform is all about when we come forward. More from Los Angeles. Woo! Jim out here cooking. I knew Jim was going to come with the flames. The LA Grill is now open. I will de-bully that ass respectfully. Our people in the building right now. We wild to the motherfucker right now. I love it. I'm going to have to listen to this again. Hey, listen, off the top, fucking Attila came from the free throw line with a blindfold on, double East Bay, reverse double pump, let the ball go, grabbed it, two-hand tomahawk with this topic. Jeez. Does your mother poop? The fuck? Do you poop? Hey, go to my Cash App right now. Hit the super chat. If you got $2 to put on tonight's show, please do it. Please do it. This show is too fucking good. We done started the week off on fire. You guys gotta support this content, man. Just sitting there like it ain't shit. Come on, man. Nobody's doing topics like this. Nobody, not even close. Not even close. You're going to hear a variant of it pretty soon. Somebody's going to get an idea from it. And you're going to hear a variant. It's what I do. I'm ahead of the curve. Somebody's going to stumble across it and then, incorporate it into whatever they're doing. I'm just telling you. You should support the shit that's leading. We're the leaders of this shit. May not have an audience. May not be as big as everybody else out there. But we're definitely cutting edge with this. I'm very pleased with this topic. And usually, I'm funny. John Gilbreth is out here acting a complete fool. John, you already gave. That's number one. You gave. on the Cash App. You already did it, bro. It's new folk in here that's getting fed. D Bird, I do what you can't do. Thank you, John. The least we could do is 80 people in here. Can everybody hit the like button on his donation? We are $9 away from $100. Now we're doing cool tonight. That's cool. 83 people. That's good. We reach $100 with 83 people. That's a little over $2 a person. A little less than $2 a person. Thank you.
Because you got to understand the Bible says casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. She's dealing with warfare in her mind. She has a picture playing in her mind. There's a picture in her mind of you being the man that she's going to be with. But there's also a picture in her mind of how do I get there? So first and foremost, what the enemy does, he projects the finale into the seductress mind. This is the finale. The finale is her in the wedding gown. There's children you guys have had. That's the finale. But then there's the in-between. How do I get him? So if she's studying your relational history, because this is what familiar spirits do, if she's paying attention to what you've been doing, or she's paying attention to the fact that, okay, you're with this woman and you're not that serious about her, then she says, how do I not be her? How do I secure him? And so she starts to give you all these different experiences. She starts doing all these things. She starts introducing you more and more to seduction because in most cases, realistically speaking, I hate to say this, a lot of women, we've been trained by grandparents, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, aunties, or what have you, right? We were raised wrong. So a lot of times what they'll tell a woman is, you got to be a lady in the street in freaking sheets.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. Keep going.
The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You're taught to appeal to his flesh. You are a spirit inside of a body. You are a spirit inside of a body. So she had her unclean spirit, she had her demons, and you had your own. Both of you guys were struggling.
For sure.
And your spirit, what you had in you, would just make you sever relationships. It's just like, hey, it's going to minister to you. It's going to tell you, hey, this person is, she's crazy.
Whoa, the fire. That lady came with the fire god. Boy, the truth is real out here. Jim from Los Angeles, let's get your final thought because you was cooking too.
So, and I'm glad that you said that. And we talk about God, right? And I get it. But I'm just going to sidebar this. All about harnessing and redirecting, like Napoleon Hill said, the sexual energy.
Yes.
Can lead to greater clarity.
Yes, transmutation.
Before we release it. And
right.
So it is this energy that we have right now is very troubling because we want to be in love. We want you to like us.
Right.
And I just think the men to, because listen, if the men leave, we wouldn't be in the sidebar. We wouldn't be in this situation.
I can concur. Go ahead.
And if we are the women who we say we are, because that energy, I've been in that situation, and it is toxic. I felt like I was going crazy, and I understood that this wasn't my energy. I fought for that power. This is not me. Where did it come from? Oh, it's from having relations with this person. With his drama, his toxicity. He passed it on to me. Now, can I get rid of it? Because he's already entered me. How can I get rid of it? I can make my mind accept it and move through it.
So let me give you
I
this.
can allow it.
Let me give you this because we got one caller behind you. But let me give you this. I want you to look up the term bodhisattva. Bodhisattva. Here's the thing. You're right at a certain level of consciousness. The man got to show up at a certain level of consciousness in order to be able to trigger something in the woman. I get it. But do you know that every woman on planet Earth has the potentiality to be a bodhisattva? When people come into the presence of a bodhisattva, he doesn't expect them to change him. He changes them because of the power that he's vibrating at. So when you're talking to people who have met bodhisattvas, they might come in on the sideways energy, but because he's vibrating so high or she's vibrating so high, she automatically changes them. Our women are dependent on men to change them when they have the power to change every scenario and situation.
We are the womb and the life giver.
I'm just putting it out there. Look up Bodhisattva and you'll see all women can do that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Jim, Los Angeles, brought him in the building. Davy Lee, Arkansas. What are your thoughts? You gotta make it quick.
Yes, sir. I want to say that y'all have so many great topics tonight. I just want to say, there's one thing that Corey Holcomb always used to say on the show. When the money get low, the hunger shows. All these women choosing me now. Why they want to mess with me now when they used to treat me like a lame?
Oh.
You the sucker, not me. You are. You chose the streets, so you're going to stay in the streets until I get ready to see something. Until then, goodbye now. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting this money, and I love you, ladies. I do. But
I
this
love
is
it.
a testament to historical truths. You always chose up. You chose the wrong things. Now you're going to get the wrong things if you choose to do right. You know what I'm saying? You're going to choose the wrong things if you choose to do right. You want to talk about how men is this and that. You know they was raised by women. What that show you about you? You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. You know what it is. Either choose up or lose up. You know, I'm not dependent, but I'm something like it. I'm coming for it all, baby. And I want that. Just know that. If you're not with my program, I'm sorry, baby. I got sisters and everything. I ain't going to put you on the street. I just want you to obey. You know what I'm saying? And stop playing games. You want to play with the losers. Then when you get broke, you want to choose up on another dude because you see he got stability. Stay where you at. Stay in the stable. You know what I'm saying? Tables for animals. I just want to let you know that.
Wow. Hey.
You know, it's not Beyonce. You who run the world, all that. I'm an XY chromosome. You just a Y. You need to ask God that.
Oh, hey, listen, Davy Lee, man, we at the end of it. I gotta bounce. I appreciate your thoughts on tonight's topic. Listen, this is just Monday. When we come forward tomorrow, I'll be back in here with another slapper. I appreciate y'all. Deuces. Davy Lee snapped off. Davy Lee snapped off. Snap, crackle, pop. Davy Lee said, who had said, hey, Candace, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. This was a great topic. Flew by, didn't it? Yep, we up out of here, bro. All right, y'all. Deuces, 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 deuces. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Deuces.